5 years in development, nearly 2 years since its spectacular unveiling at E3, Ubisoft's Watch Dogs was seen by many to be the first truly new game of this next generation of consoles. But then last October, just a month before the planned release of the game, the publisher announced it wasn't going to hit that date. Today, Ubisoft announced that May 27th is when Watch Dogs will be on store shelves. So what exactly were the developers doing with those extra months?
It's a tough point on a project to think that you kind of geared yourself up to ship something, and anybody who goes through that will probably tell you the same thing.
Everybody was talking, looking at the game. Everybody was playing the game and seeing the same things, and so with those discussions, we were all coming down to the same conclusion. Yes, it's a big change. We thought it was for the best though, because the expectations for Watch Dogs were high, and we wanted to make sure that we delivered exactly what we promised gamers, and that required more time.
Can you tell me how that discussion came about? I'm assuming you guys didn't just one day say, let's delay it.
No. So that was hard. It was really hard for us because when we defined that date, we were confident we could hit it.
To be super honest, we were going to ship. At the game, everyone was working, and then at some point, we try it, we play test it, and we realize there's some hiccups. Okay, this mission is not as fun as we want, and then we sit down together with the company, and then we have to make this call. Right. It's a huge call, so obviously it's a whole company call.
So it was hard, and for quite a while I said, no, I think we could do it. We can do it. But then at some point it was like, okay, we're starting to have to cut corners. We're starting to have to take the wrong decision in order to ship the game. And we could have gone on doing that, would have shipped it, would have made some bad choices. We were definitely going to do some bad choices if we did that, and we didn't want to.
What we did was we basically sat down, and instead of just rushing in and just out of control, trying to fix a bunch of stuff or change a bunch of stuff, we sat down and we played the game. And it's really, really rare that you have time to I've never happened to me ever in my career, and I don't think a lot of people can say this. They sat down and played the game and really thought about what the choices meant. And and then we thought about what was our core fantasy, our promise to the player. We just wanted to make sure we got that bang on, get it perfect. And to Ubi's credit, they give us the time to do that. So it's actually been a really, personally, it's been a very enjoyable experience because we got to make things the way that we wanted to, instead of really cutting hard to meet a hard deadline that was maybe too aggressive.
Playing the game, it wasn't exactly obvious what it was the developers spent their time doing. Probably that's because it wasn't one big improvement, but instead a bunch of little ones. The word we heard over and over again in speaking to developers was polish.
We polished. I mean, obviously there's some situations that there are bugs, or in the world there's an area that the cover generation did not catch, and we play, so there's missing a cover, which is super frustrating. So we did improve those, but they were very close to what they are now. I have to say polish again. It's like, okay, this car is not turning as much as we want, so we'll play with it a little bit.
What would you say is the biggest change compared to had you shipped it, let's say, in November?
It's a hard one. I probably should have prepared an answer for that one, but I would feel cheap, because the reality is it's thousands of changes.
Right.
Tweaks, finishing touches. Any example I will give is just an example. It's not because I'm trying to hide something.
Every time you play a game and you're like, this is a little thing that bothers you, why didn't they fix this? Why didn't they fix that? So those are the kind of things that we wanted to get and target and polish.
One major change that the developers did work on was making sure that there wasn't any repetition in the experience players had, or that they didn't get bored doing some of the hacking or some of the other little things you can do in the game.
The variety wasn't there, so it started to feel repetitive, and we're like, okay, it doesn't fulfill the fantasy, it doesn't make the eye feel alive.
A big part of achieving your goals is about you can just run in and shoot everybody if you want, but we really want to make sure that you could actually hack and you could lure guys away, and that they have more stages of reaction, so they kind of progressively got more frustrated.
So in changing the math, did that mean you had to go in and add AI, or?
We will add more AI that can be hacked, for example. You know, we want to make sure everyone lives it. Everyone in this mission, there's the right ratio, and we don't rely too much on chance, because some players are, you know, they'll be the unlucky one. They have 4 missions in a row with, oh, I don't have the AI to be hacked. And, you know, I think it lessens the experience in the end.
Playing the game, and keep in mind, I only played it for about an hour and a half, and this is a very big world that's going to take you a lot more than that to get through. I never saw the same names, the same occupations, the same people twice. And I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun. I could see why they wanted that extra time to polish, because there's a lot of layers to what you're doing, a lot of different things that you can try. You can try gunplay, you can try stealth, you can drive around, you can sort of harass people, you could do hacking. It was a lot of fun. It felt a lot like Grand Theft Auto meets Assassin's Creed with a heavy dose of hacking. And that's the sort of game I'd love to play over and over again. When did you realize, okay, this time we really are ready to go?
Well, the best experience to know what you've got is to really sit down and play it. And so I spent the last 6 months basically just playing the game. So I knew pretty much right away. We started fixing a couple of things, and just like the polish, as we say. And I'm like, this is fun. I'm having a lot of fun playing this.
I remember there's like a couple of weeks, Jonathan, our creative director, me, a bunch of people, the lead game designers, were playing the game, and we spent like 2 weeks playing the game, and we felt exactly what we wanted to feel. Like the satisfaction of, I did what I wanted. There was bugs, obviously, but the experience I had was the experience I wanted.
Sometimes you're nervous when your game is coming out. You're not sure if the public's gonna like it. I don't think anybody's nervous. I think we're like, you know, if you taste the soup and you know the soup is good, it's okay to give it to Gordon Ramsay, which is, you know, probably like putting your game out in front of the general public.
Watch Dogs is a huge world with an assortment of different sorts of gameplay layered on top of it. There's gunplay, there's hacking, there's driving. All those things take a lot of work to get them to work just right. And then on top of that, they had to make sure they all sort of came together and connected. And that's exactly what happened. I feel like this is a fantastic game. I had a lot of fun playing it.